No, Facebook guys, I hope they're back.
I hope so too. What's, what's going on?
Somebody said he used his mouth to eat his earwood in his relationship.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, we are back. We're back, and
During
that
the break,
that was a serious
what do you
break.
call it? Unforced error.
On first, that was a serious break.
Oh
But
my
really,
goodness.
during the break, we're still getting some
Comments.
serious feedback, right? We're still getting some serious feedback, and one of the people that responded, Kilo, so
One of the people said he used his mouth to eat isiewu in his relationship. Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for coming back.
Yes,
Well, we had
disruption.
technical disruption. It's a technical
That one is
disruption.
human error.
Yes. So great to be back.
Yes.
And thank you for joining us back. We are still on what to do with your mouth. And before we went out, before we went off, we were having serious conversation. And the first issue we're dealing with was the kiss. So if you wanted to hear what we discussed about the kiss, because the first one we got, somebody said, what to do with your mouth is to kiss. And then, okay, sorry. Okay, so sorry. Is kiss. Didn't you notice it was guys that were calling?
And they were very excited.
They were very
really chatting.
Yes, about the kiss.
Somebody put a comment there in the last one before, and we couldn't read it.
There was a comment that we couldn't read.
John Jerry J, I think. I don't know if we can get it.
Let me see if I can find that comment. It was Jay's Empire. Jay's Empire said French kiss, peck kiss, kiss on the feet, kiss on the palm, kiss on the air. All na kiss. So it's all na kiss. Do you understand? So he was trying to tell us that any part of the kiss you take, all na kiss. Anyway, back to business.
So and then just highlights.
Okay.
Toby said the problem with kiss is that it can be misread.
Yes.
A guy can give in quotes an innocent, because that's how Toby tried to depict
it. He tried to say it.
An
innocent kiss. But then
the girl reads or the lady reads a lot of meaning into it and starts to think a lot, right? And then by the time she now finds out that that's not what he meant, you now have a problem. So guys, be careful. So we're saying, before you go and start doing kiss all over the place,
check what they mean. Check the particular kiss that you want to kiss. Check what it means.
Yes. So now, and he talked about French kiss. Remember something he said in passing, that it leads you somewhere else. So, and that's the problem with kiss. So let me tell you something funny. A friend of mine used to say. Remember Hannah?
What did she used to say?
It's good. She say this kiss. That when you're in a relationship, don't just go and start kissing somebody straight on the mouth.
How should you do
it? You need to start from like forehead and then go along the circumference. Just go. Hopefully, by the time you're getting married, that's just around when you reach the mouth.
Oh my goodness, that's really a classic case of what to do with your mouth in the relationship, because she's conscious of the fact that like for those that are just joining us, if you didn't get the first episode, there's we have already spoken about the kiss, what to do with your mouth in a relationship, and I've spoken about kiss, and we have analyzed the kiss, the issues around kiss, and whether you should or you should not is up to you.
So
you define for us.
Summary note before we spend this whole day talking about kiss. Summary or final note on kiss is this: pace yourself, because, like she said, if you go straight, Toby has already told us that it leads to something else.
Yes, it leads to something else. And me, I told you guys that some people can use kiss and suck your sense. And so because when they kiss some guys, all the sense from school. Mom, you can't remember anything. Mumu button takes over and she say go.
So just be careful, especially if you and some people say what's the big deal? I'm just expressing my love. I'm just expressing
I hear you.
my feelings.
It's the expression that will get us to where we are going.
The thing is, if in doing that, right, it brings you to the point where you can no longer see clearly. Brings you to the point where you are no longer objective. It brings you to the point where you experience such highs and you feel that this is the only person that can give you such highs. And because of that, this person becomes the best thing in the world to you. And you couldn't possibly see anything wrong with anything else they do. Right? Then you're in a very dangerous
You're in a tight place.
Because you're not going to see the mistakes they make. You're not going to see the red flags.
There's problem.
What's the problem? Read it to Jim.
Say nowadays, girls don't like to kiss, but they admire it when they see others do it. brother, that table you're shaking, they have come on one leg. My hand no day inside. That table you're shaking.
How do you know? Are you in their mind?
My brother, is that the voice of experience? I'm looking the other way. I'm not looking at the camera. No. Is that the voice of experience? Maybe he will tell us. We don't know. Yes. Somebody, the other person say, bros, I agree. Kiss is dangerous. It's a very dangerous something. Your sense, common sense will just disappear. No. Especially when they do French kiss. No. That way they use tongue. That's a problem. Anyway, let's go on. Somebody say, I can't just judge by kiss. So, is it a brother? Is it a sister? But sister, don't judge by kiss, please.
What did she say? Is that Bella?
Bella. She says,
Bella.
I can't just judge by kiss. So don't judge by kiss. So if we agree that we cannot judge by kiss, what should we do with the mouth in a relationship?
Let's go there.
Carry go. So
in a relationship, you should use your mouth to share information.
Wait. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait now.
Share information. What, can't you just Google it?
No. Information about yourself to the person. And you should use your mouth to ask questions.
I'm coming. You guys are in relationship. Do you used to use your mouth to share information? What kind of information?
Example.
What kind of information?
This is who I am. This is what I'm about.
So,
this is what I believe.
I think,
Baby, this is what I want to achieve.
You should give them a context. Why are we having this conversation? Because you mentioned the other time that sometimes when people come to us for counseling or people bring cases to us, and you do this in church, especially church people, you want to find out. I'm coming. When you guys were doing boyfriend, girlfriend, what were you guys doing with your mouth? Were people speaking?
Didn't you talk about this?
Didn't you talk?
Didn't you address this?
So what are the things that they could have talked about? Because we have issues here. Because it turns out like the first person that answered us that brought us to all this whole kissing thing, I don't even know who that person just came and carried us to kissing. But let's talk the real issues. Now, what were you guys doing with your mouth? What did you talk about? What did you do? As in, were you just kissing until, by the time you kiss and until you get to the... What did you do with your mouth?
Saying, you have to talk. You have to share information. You have to... It's because really, why are you in a relationship? Apart from having a friend, having someone talk to, and so on and so forth. If you are, let's put it this way, if you are altar bound, if you plan to get married,
if you are planning to get serious with this whole relationship
if there
thing,
is that end game, then you need to be working towards it. You need to be deliberate about what you're doing in that relationship. So other people may be in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship. But for you,
when you are serious,
yes, there's a plan, there's a purpose. I'm heading.
This relationship is going somewhere
and
to
what
happen.
What are you trying to do? You are trying to know whether this is the right person
or not.
So it means that you're not in that relationship to waste time. You're in that relationship to find out, is this it or is this not it?
Not it. Faith is asking a question. She said, please, we should define the holy kiss. Faith, what we will do for you, because we have already spent some time in the first part of this show. Just go and watch the other one. The episode 1. This one is episode 2. Episode 1, we talked about holy kiss and the different kinds of kisses. We gave
so just find it.
Find it. French kiss is there too. I know people are looking for French kisses there, but just find it.
Okay. So yes. So you're in it to find out everything you need to know. You're in it is like a research, right? Meaning that you have to find out a lot of things about that person for you to be able to say, is this the right person for me? Is this the kind of person I would like to spend the rest of my life with? And so on. I mean, meaning that you will now be telling the person stuff about you for them to also get to know you, because it's two ways, right? It's two ways. And you also need to be asking the person questions, because they may not tell you everything. You know how some people just say, my name is so, I come from so, I live at so, I work at so, and they keep quiet and they feel they have told you all about their lives.
So since we are on let's put a pause there, because we'll come back to that place and let's really talk about their lives. Right. So while we're on it, Timora is in the building. So Timora, please lend us your voice. Let's hear what you have in mind. Ngwanu, over to you. Can you hear us? Hello, Timora, can you hear us? Timora,
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Okay, so about this topic, what can you use your mouth, or what to use your mouth for in a relationship? There's this post I stumbled upon during the week about a newly married couple arguing who should send money to whose family, and why the husband is not sending money to her own family. And I'm like, this is a new marriage. How come these kind of issues were not raised during the period of courtship? She said they had courted for like 2 years, and then just about a few months into the marriage, you're not doing contribution to your families. They now want to crush the new family that has not even started to blossom or something. So aside all this kiss flying in the air, things like this will never let marriage that have started to even go anywhere to just scatter. So these are even important things that people should be talking about in relationship. So it's not kiss alone. No. When you finish kissing, the marriage will scatter after 2 months.
Hot.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Well, yes, that's one of the things.
Very
talk
valid
about
point.
your family context.
What should you do with your mouth?
Talk about expectations. I mean, there's so many things to talk about. Money. Talk about money. Talk about money. Who is earning what? Who is going? How are people going to take care of the family's needs? Right? Is it going to be, according to some people, your money, that's the man's money, it's our money. And then my money, that's the woman's money. It's my money, it's the woman's money. Can you imagine? You know, is it a case where the guy is going to sort out everything, or are you guys going to partner and work together? Who are you responsible for? I mean, these are things we talk about. Who are you responsible for as an individual? Because you might go and see somebody and say, oh, he works in a good place, he should be doing okay, he lives on his own, I believe he can take care of me, or or I believe we can do a marriage together, finances will not be a problem. Only for you to go and find out that the guy is the first son, and he has like 5 siblings, and they are still in school, and maybe he lost the parent that was a breadwinner, and that responsibility now rests on his head, and he feels duty bound to complete that responsibility before he starts doing anything else. So if you don't talk about that, you now get into the marriage, and then every month when he brings out his when he wants to do the transfer, or he brings out his checkbook, you start complaining, and then you start arguing. I start saying, no, this one was supposed to, maybe you think the money should be saved for the future, your own future children, but the guy is talking about training his siblings. Things like this need to be addressed. What kind of house are we going to live in? Where are we going to live? You have your house in Mpape. I have my house in Wuse too. Are you going to move into my house because it's posh, it's clean, it's cute?
Or are you going to move into my house in Mpape because I'm the guy?
Because you're the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Your house is 1 bedroom. Mine is 2 bedroom.
Huh. But even 1 bedroom in Wuse 2 and 1 bedroom in Mpape, it's like saying, oh, I live in a self-con in VI, and then I live in 2 bedroom in a where is that place? In Egbeda. So the question we are now.
So these are the kinds of things you need to talk about. Where are we going to live? Who is going to, how are you going to unite your resources, right, to take care of stuff? So talk about finances, talk about family expectations.
Hey!
Do they expect that when your wife comes, anytime there's a family event, she becomes the cook? She has to come and do the firewood and wash the tomatoes and do the jollof rice and do, that whole. What kind of expectations are there? You need to talk about those things and check if she's cool with it, right? Important things. I'm just giving that one as an example.
So
family.
What
if your family is the kind that anything that anybody is doing, whether it makes sense or not, everybody must contribute.
Family expectations.
Yeah.
Family expectations.
So, do you have a dependent parent and so on? You have to talk about all of these things. Talk about religion. What do you believe? You say you believe in God. Which God? You have to be sure.
You have to be sure.
God, because there are many gods. And get to the point where you are aligned on how comfortable you are with what they believe, right? And how do they express that belief? Because one person may say, I express it by being a good citizen of Nigeria. I don't steal, I don't this, I don't that. I respect other people, full stop. Another person may say, I express it by showing up in church every time the door opens. Another person may say, I express it by taking all my worldly goods and giving it to the poor, while I also live as a poor person.
That one you're saying. That one you're saying is a problem. This one.
But isn't that the kind of thing Mother Teresa did? And we are singing her praises now. But man, it wasn't easy what she did. So what if that's how the person?
So in other words, if other person chooses to express their religion, their spirituality by giving out everything, you just be working like Jackie, and then while you are still in the office working, you will just see a lot. I say, what is this alert? He say, oh, I gave a special offering on our behalf that the Lord will bless us. And the special offering is, they say we should give everything that we own.
And the thing is, it's not bad to do those
sacrificial No, it's not bad. But we have to talk about it.
Is the second person aligned? Is the person aligned? These are things that you need to talk about. You have to check. What do we do? Okay, you like giving. All right, you have a certain, maybe this is how we do it. You have a certain budget, that you keep for your giving. I will keep the rest of the family finances and so on. You talk about all of these things. You talk to some extent about what do they call it? Your appetite for intimacy.
Baby.
What? I'm saying it too sweetly.
Your appetite. Talk about sex. Appetite for intimacy. Talk about sex because it's too much problem. We need to talk about Baby, you need to use your mouth and talk about it. The couple have to talk about sex. Exactly. Because one person may want to be hanging on the chandelier. The other person says missionary. You have to talk about it. Because if it's only missionary you know how to do, and the other person want to hang on fan, but you don't
know how to do or plan to do. Depends on the context. Because continue.
See.
No, you don't need to say more. Just what, did somebody say something?
No, somebody say something, please.
Silas, I can't.
Yes, say please balance it well. We have our African traditions on duties of a wife. True.
Correct.
True.
Yes, True. Mr. Kam, that is a valid point. And that's another thing to discuss. So if you are married, if you are planning to get married to a traditional man,
yes,
a man who believes in our culture as
Africans,
and chooses to preserve that culture, right? You now have to check, are you fine with that? Because if you're not fine with it, then that means that you're going to have a problem. But if you are, if you are ready to do as the man requires, then of course there's no issue.
So that's why
the communication.
the talking, that's what to do with the mouth.
Yes.
That's why the talking is very key. Because if the man is a traditional man, and there's nothing wrong with a traditional man, is who he is.
And you know the beauty about traditional men, they sort things out.
Oh my goodness, the woman, you can just sit down and just people just keep your leg up.
So maybe what you will now do to help traditional man is just tell him, okay, since you don't want me to work or do anything, please just do this investment here, do that what they call that thing now?
Balance that.
The
Mr. Ekam has said it. Balance the road. Balance.
Yes.
You have to balance
and
it.
put the structures in place.
So that's why it is important that you guys talk.
For the sustenance of the family.
I didn't finish my talk on sex. It's very key. See, this thing is causing problem up and down. It's not only single people that have problem with sex. Married people too have problem with it. The problem is some people also didn't communicate. They didn't talk about it. Now, we are not saying that before marriage, some people now they say, okay, let's talk about sex before marriage, and you are not even planning to get married. But talking about people that are serious about their relationship.
You are very near.
You are very near
the altar.
You have to talk about it and say, wait, madam, me, I like to hang on the chandelier. Why the other person say me? No, it's missionary. It's missionary position me I like. Do you understand? So both of you can now say, okay, since you like chandelier or you like to hang on fan and be spinning. Do you understand? That's this thing you like. Let's talk. Let's see how we can reach halfway.
Or one person says, I am very rigid. I don't want to try anything new. Another person says,
I'm adventurous.
I want to even go and explore, read books and find out new things and come and try it.
Yes.
Or stuff like that. I mean, it has to be discussed.
It has to be. The conversation has to be there. It has to be there. So okay, we have faith in the okay. Let's take faith and then we'll come back and take some comments that we have.
All right.
Some comments we have. Faith, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Hi, Faith. I like your voice.
Yes. Oh.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so yes, I know that it's very important to talk about like issues of life, your expectations about marriage before getting into it. Like that's one of the major things you do with your mouth. But out of experience, I've had an experience, of course, people know about it already, where I got to talk about everything. Okay, let me give an example. I was like, oh, I would like a marriage that me and my husband will know everything about our finances. I know what you're earning, you know what I'm earning. Like it's like a flow, as in from the same source, that kind of thing. Like I know the in and out. And the guy was like, yes, no problem, everything fine. But months later into the relationship, is the one now telling me that do you know so went to buy something and she did not tell her husband. That's why it's not good to let your wife know anything you're any know. Just let her know whatever you want her to know.
So that means he gave you one answer, but he had other thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes. So and this is just one of the
okay,
we lost her.
Okay, but what she said is really important. And this is why time is important in relationships. Because someone can give you a verbal response, right? Someone can answer you with their mouth and say this is the answer. But time allows you the opportunity to find out if that's what they really meant.
I'm here.
Actions.
Okay,
yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Welcome back.
Okay, so like I was saying, this is just one of the many things I talked about. Like I let it out to him, like what I cannot take, that he was like, no problem, fine, that he later on started changing his mind on. So I'm wondering, what I'm already married in this relationship, what would I have done? Because now it's not a case of we didn't talk about it. And also, I've heard of people's story that they told their husbands, I would like to go to school when we get married. And they're like, no problem. No. Kind of like a question, what do we now do about that? And then to me, my own solution is that, aside from also talking, another thing you can do with your mouth in a relationship is prayer. Pray. That's my own.
We talks about very, very, very
Thank
valid.
you so much.
Bobby, how do we address this?
So, I was saying, it is one thing for somebody to give you a verbal response, and that's why I usually say use all your arsenal, engage all your sensors, everything, every fact finding tool you have, use it. Some people will just ask a question and somebody will answer and they say, oh, he said he's a rich man, but every time he's coming on bike, he's rich in his heart. You know, he said this, but it's not adding up. You have to check using other tools, observe, see how they actually live their life, watch how they respond to certain things, ask questions about them, try to find out from people who know them, not necessarily their friends, because you know friends have a way of trying
There's
to
a bro code, man. There's
trying
a bro
to cover
code.
their pals, you know. But you need to find out. So, and then another thing really important is time, and that's why I say fools rushing. Fools rush in.
Fools rushing is a chapter in your book.
Yes,
in your
it's
book,
a chapter in
husband
my book,
material. Yeah.
Fools rushing because they're like, please, I want to hurry up and leave my parents' house. I'm tired of this nonsense. So they rush in. Oh no, please, I want to do and wear ring, Joe. Let me start being respected by other people. I want to, you know, they just different reasons. In fact, some people, I want to hurry up and start having sex legitimately. So let me get married, you know, and they just rush in. And it is after they have gotten married, after they are legally bound, they now start to see certain things that if they had waited a little longer or allowed more time in the relationship before getting into marriage, they still may have gotten, they probably would have gotten to find out those things. So
it means that in what you're doing with your relationship, what you're doing with your mouth, there's the part where you guys are talking about it. But there's also the part, from what I hear you say, is that there's also the part where you have to talk. So there's talk with, there's talk about. Do you understand? So you also have to talk to other people about the person see any relationship that you people are doing that only exists in private, you also have some private problems. Listen, before you say I do, you need to be sure, because your how do I put this so that it doesn't sound very one kind? Whatever relationship you find yourself in, whatever relationship it is that you guys are working towards, that you are building, you need to find out, because if the person is a liar, even if you guys talk to each other, whatever he said to you, because he is a habitual liar, he's going to tell you something you want to hear. So you need to be able to talk about him to other people to be able to find out if he is a man or a woman that keeps their word. So do you understand? So the talking doesn't just end with the person that you are involved with. You have to talk to other people about the person that you are involved with,
and try to find out. There's I can't remember one of those your movies where some guy was trying to get information about a certain person, and like the first 8 people he called were giving him the same answer, which was and those answers were good, right?
Yes.
But then he kept going, he said something, there has to be something. And then he finally got to somebody who opened a can of worms. You know, and he was like, okay, so I got to it. Sometimes, you know, you are in a hurry to want to say, yes, I was right. Yes, this person is a good person, as I thought. So you ask person 1, they say, oh, he's good. Ask person 2, he's good. Oh, yes, he really is good. I asked 2 people. Really? Is that how far you go for a lifetime commitment? I mean, you need to be able to go really far. Check, find out. And it's easier when you have like that, and this is why friendship helps. I keep talking about friendship, because it gives you the opportunity to get to know people objectively before they start putting up facades, before they this before they see you coming, because you've been checking and screening them. Okay. And in if you don't have that opportunity to be like in a what the same circle of friends with somebody, then just really be deliberate about it. Take it as if you want to hire someone. How far will you go to find out?
Take it like a business, right? If you're going to do a business that is going to cost you investment, that's going to cost you resources, hard-earned resources that you have worked for, there's something they call feasibility studies. You have to check and find out.
And if you want to employ someone, you do security
background check.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So, and I I feel like what our parents used to do back in the day, right, was some kind of security background check, where they would go and ask in that person's village, do they have mad people in their family?
Yeah, they used to do that traditionally. Yeah, traditionally.
Are they hardworking? They just find out a couple of things, and when they are satisfied with their check, then they tell you, yes, you can go ahead and marry that person. Sometimes they'll tell you, no, they have this issue. That family, this issue. They've done a background check. But these days we're like, I beg, that's old school.
Those days we Google.
we say that's old school and we just go ahead.
But it's important. It's important when we say what to do with your mouth. What to do with your mouth.
Ask questions. There are a couple of questions that I captured in my book.
Okay, in her book, Husband Material. Yeah, is it
100 questions?
Okay, so the book has 100 questions that you can ask, but the workbook also has some frames and some questions.
The workbook has a lot of very deep, serious questions. The workbook
and the link
has like soul searching, look inside, really check.
Questions, yes.
Foundational issues.
Foundational issues. And the book, the links to the book and the workbook is in the comment section. So just go to the comment section, you will see the link and the workbook, the link to the workbook. It is?
Yes, but anyway, we'll take
we'll take 10 minutes because we had a break in transition. So these 10 minutes, if you have some questions you want to pose in this next 10 minutes, start doing it now while she's checking. We have a number of comments. So before we go to your question, let's take some comments. We had this from Mr. Ekam. Say, please balance it well. We have our African traditions on duties of a wife. Yes, we addressed that. You are working in the office, your TV has gone to motherless. This was what we're talking about. One person has a habit of giving that person something else. I can't seem to connect. Jackson says, Pastor Kingsley and your wife, this is a great family program. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jackson,
he said, that should be Uncle Jackson. No, that's my uncle. I'll check. Yes. They say things like number of children is plenty wahala too. Yes. How many children? One person wants to have two because of school fees. The other person wants to
have 5.
The other person wants to fulfill the scriptures and dominate, multiply, replenish the earth.
Subdue it with your children.
Yeah, exactly. Some people want like Jacob, they want 12 children. While others just want Isaac. There's the prayer part. We've spoken about that. Somebody say he's coming on bike is because of Lagos traffic. Not that he's rich in his mind.
What a reasonable excuse.
Yes, not that the guy is rich, he's coming on bike. He said no, he said the Lagos traffic. The Lagos traffic is too much. Yes. He said just to meet up time. Leshy Peter. I think Leshy Peter is applauding that the bike he said is normally used on gold digger.
Okay, he's trying to say he's said as in just working with what.
Okay, with what he said. Okay.
What people are saying.
What are saying? Okay.
You can use it to capture somebody because they just go with what you're saying.
Right.
But I can imagine that there are some sophisticated gold diggers that are looking for evidence, or not just.
Oh no. They said, you see, God bless you. I told you this.
Yes, the uncle.
Yeah, God bless you with a wonderful woman. I pray that her ministry will not diminish in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you.
Peter still following up. Say yes. It's serious traffic that made the guy to come with bike. God bless you, ma'am, for all these wonderful topics. Thank you. Kingsley F. Young says yes. Background check. Background check is key. And before you read yours, and I will read the things that we captured. Those that are just joining us, we captured some things because we are tying down now. We captured some information. We said, what are the things to do with your mouth? Part 1, we have talked about how what to do with kiss or no kiss,
and prayer.
And prayer. We talked about what to do with kiss and no. So that link is also on this channel. So just check the video before what to do with your mouth, part 1. We said talk about families and in-laws. That's what to do with your mouth. Talk about families and in-laws. How is this people's family? How will you handle my family? Talk about money. Very critical, very key, very key. What are you earning? What am I earning? With what I'm earning cause problem for what you are earning. How we share it. What's the sharing formula? How we spend it? How we save it? How we invest it? Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about who each party is responsible for. I'm the firstborn. The whole of my village is depending on me. Who is now going to raise our family? Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about where you both are going to live. Are you going to live in Wuse 2? You know, the plush part of Abuja, because it's a house? Or are you going to live in Mpape because you are the guy? So because you're living in Mpape or somewhere under like that, they'll say, because I'm the guy, she has to come and suffer with me because I'm the man. I'm the head. My brother, if neck no day, head will just walk out by himself. Then call and waiting, really. Talk about how you're going to live. Talk about family expectations. My family. Is it that anytime they are doing anything, all of us must buy a shrebi? We have to find out. Talk about it. Or contribute. Or more. Yes. Talk about religion. What's your conviction? What's your expression of your faith? How do you express your faith? Talk about this. And these are all the things you can talk about to see. We have just given you, are going almost 10 things. Meanwhile, in her book, there's almost 100. You can see there are plenty of things to talk about. This one, talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, baby.
And please, when you're talking about sex, don't now come and say, Mr. Bature said we should talk about sex. We now decided to go and talk about it in a quiet room, all by ourselves.
We talked about it in a dark room. Because
then you now say, and then somehow one thing led to another, and then...
No, we talked about it in a dark room, and suddenly the place became very cold, and we had to huddle together so that conversation can be warm,
can be fruitful,
and then it will now produce. That's not what I sent you. I said talk, use your mouth, talk. I didn't say don't touch. Maybe another time we'll talk about what to do with your hands in a relationship. But today is talk. Just talk. Talk, don't touch. People like touch too much. People like touch. But say what you want to say, John.
Have you finished reading?
Yes.
Okay. So that's so I just wanted to touch on, just randomly pick some questions. How far do you want to go with your education? What if we get good jobs in different cities? Who is your best friend? Who are the most important people in your life? How will we manage our in-laws? How do you spend your time each week? What are your thoughts on healthcare? Do you believe in doctors, or do you believe in faith, traditional faith or other ways, or some of these other science?
Yes. Eastern religious.
Do you believe in a budget or a dream wedding?
Do you believe in what they call that one? Chicken and knife, our native tradition. No, see, we have to talk about it. There's nothing wrong with it. You have to talk about it, Ni. You have to talk about it. Talk about what you believe.
What was your childhood like? Talk about it. Yes. And then let me pick one last one. What's your worst experience in life? I mean, so that there are lots of things. I wrote down 100 questions in husband material that you can just use to keep the conversation going. And please, when you're asking questions, you see the way the questions are structured. It's not yes, no. It's not those kind of direct. Someone say yes, someone say no. It's easy for somebody. As long as somebody is telling you yes, no, just know it's 50-50.
So when they say talk about it, don't say they say we should talk about money. Will you give me all your money? Yes. That's not talking. That's question, and that's objective.
Are you okay if we have 2 children?
Yes.
Meanwhile, the guy wants 5. And by the time you finish with the 2, he say, I'm okay, but I desire more. And you say, no, I can only do 2. And he say, well, I can, there's this other lady. She's willing to do 3.
She's willing to do 3 to add. So that the equation will balance. Just Momodi said, you guys doing great. Is you guys doing great? Lovely to see you both and love the chat. Thank you. That's why we do what we do, just so that we can bring value to everyone out there, whether you are single or you are married. Common sense for relationship is for you, because we say it as it is. We try to be real. We don't cover it, we don't sugarcoat it, because people are going through real issues and we know that these issues are there, and so we try to answer the questions and talk about the things. We even bring our own challenges, because we are real. Real issues. I'm telling you, I'm not looking at her face. See where I'm looking. We have real issues, and so we bring it here, and we try to show you how God has helped us, to deal with the ones that we can deal with, just to help you also deal with the ones that you are dealing with. There's a lot of dealing when it comes to relationship. I'm telling you. Yes, now I can look at you. I've finished talking. Yes, and you cannot tell me that when you this night, you already made the food. So after this program, I will go and eat it. You can't do anything.
It's good like that. Okay, guys. So I think this is a good place to draw the curtain on today's show, and we are so grateful to everyone who joined us for the first part and then joined us again after the break in transmission. So please, if you got value, share with your friends, leave us a comment. If you have any interesting ideas you would like us to address on this channel, please
chat. To chat us up on Facebook at Anietie Bature. Leave a comment on YouTube at Anietie Bature also. Or if you go to our Facebook page, you can send us a WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp button there. Just click it. It will send us a message, something you need us to address, or there's an issue you need, or you want to speak to a professional counselor. We will connect you. We're doing all of this. Of course, you know that my wife is a certified counselor. Hallelujah. Can your wife ever? All right, it's time to go. It's time to draw the curtains.
Remember, common sense
is not so common.
Bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Good night. Oh yeah, now they don't say bye. Mona close and now. Bye. Good night. All right.